A little bit of a dead cat on my mic. Hello, welcome to the live. So I thought I'd shoot this. Are we live? Yeah, we are, aren't we? Can't fucking see. Yeah. Right. Welcome to the live because I thought we'd just shoot this one quickly to give you some of the best habits that you can implement. And I've said that these habits will solve 90% of your problems. Right, so 90% of your problems go away if you do all these things, right? Or, a proportion of them will get you so far. And it's like I always say, if you're new to my channel, I always talk about identity a lot because identity is quite important. We can change our identity. You might have heard of this concept of identity shifting, which is good because it's real. But you know what our identity is? It's our habits. I put a quote in the description, F.M. Alexander, it was something like this. People don't decide their futures. They decide their habits, and the habits decide the futures. That's because we are the sum of our habits that we practice daily. All right, so I'm going to give you a few now. If you want to improve anything in life, you do these 8 things now I give you. Solve 90% of your problems. Right, you ready? Here's the list. Number 1, eat clean. Right, go to my channel, go to my website. I've got a diet plan on there. andyholt.co.uk, go to resources. I've got a diet plan on there. It's about whole foods. Eat clean, number 1. Number 2, exercise daily. Right, a lot of people, a lot of life's health issues, physical health issues. How do you fix a bad back? Train it. How do you prevent early mortality? Train it. We get weaker as we get older. It's important to keep that strength, and that exercising daily is coupled with the clean diet. Them two go hand in hand. If you exercise and you eat clean, that's the one. Number 3, right, so number 1, eat clean. Number 2, exercise daily. Number 3, dress sharply. Right, you don't walk around looking like a slob. I have a little rule, always trying to be slightly better dressed than everyone else. Don't go over the top, keep it context specific, but always trying to be slightly better dressed than everyone else is a good rule of thumb. So if you're going into a business meeting, make sure you've got a nicer jacket, that kind of thing. Number 4, learn about finances. That's one of them things that we don't learn at school. We learn about mathematics and this, that and the other. But the schooling system, I think it was like, even maybe, I don't know if it was like supposed to be, a rumour is that, was it Rockefeller or Henry Ford or someone invented almost come up with a sort of driven the modern education system, because what they wanted was people to be educated so that they go to the factory Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Right, but they don't teach finances. They don't teach how to manage money, and school does not teach us how to manage money. It'll teach us how to add money, add up, but it won't teach us how to make money, manage money, keep money, learn finances, learn microeconomics. Macroeconomics, yeah, you've got to understand how the economy works, but it's pretty simple stuff. When you get that down, you understand the relationship between interest rates and inflation and things like that. But learn microeconomics so you can run a business. Right, next one, number 5, set boundaries, right, in your life with people. And this is just like, you know, on how you're living, what you're prepared to put up with, all that kind of thing, how you want to treat people. It really works. Number 6, read daily, every day. Think about it. I read every day, and I just think about all the successful people. Like I think Warren Buffett sometimes reads up to like 6 hours a day. Right, a lot of people, you know, 2 hours a day. I did a live yesterday about taking that time to yourself every day. People think, oh, get to work, you should be in work. You haven't got time for that, journaling and reading. Yes, you fucking have. Read daily, right? As Jim Rohn said. Invest, you know, spend more time on yourself than you do on your business, on your work. You know, invest more time in yourself than you do on your work. Very good. All the knowledge is contained in books. Right, number 7, choose your friends wisely. I'm not saying ditch your friends, because, you know, we've all got friends that we like. It's more about understanding the influence that people can have, so who you spend your time with on a day-to-day basis. Like, I've got friends that I've had since I was 3 years old, still friends. Going meeting a few after this. I wouldn't want to spend every day with every one of them, because we're different, you know what I mean? We do different things for work and things, and that's fine. We just have get-togethers. But choosing your friends wisely is important, because they can drag you down. And then lastly, number 8, or lift you up, by the way. Your friends can definitely lift you up. Mine do. You know, great friends lift you up. Number 8, prioritise sleep. One thing must admit, a lot of my life I've sacrificed sleep. Very bad for you. It's amazing if you go without sleep. Have you ever noticed? I always talk about state management, managing your state. As Tony Robbins calls it, priming. He primes his state. In the morning, I write down in my journal, you know, positive affirmations every day to manage my state. But one of the biggest things that affects your state and how you feel about yourself is sleep. Have you ever noticed when you're tired is when all the negative thoughts creep in? Just think about that. Prioritise sleep. So let's have a look at a few of these now, because I'll give you some examples. 90% of your problems will go away if you... let me just adjust that. Yeah, 90% of your problems will go away. Sorry, I can hardly see. I'll get to the comments in a bit. But I can hardly read the screen because it's like so sunny. I'll give you a couple of examples now. 90% of your problems go away if you do these 8 things. So, how many of you, maybe you go to the gym, maybe you work very hard in the gym, so you're exercising number 2, which is exercise daily. Maybe you're very good at that part, right? And I've been there, before I got this down, right, because I just stay, I'm not like amazing, but, you know, leaning out, right? And here's the difference. A few years ago, I've always been into the gym, I've always been able to build a bit of muscle and stuff like that. But staying lean, right? If you work hard in the gym, maybe you do that bit right, you know, but you're still not quite getting the results when it comes to a cut. It's diet. That's it. That's number 1. Eat clean. Guarantee. I see people in the gym working the bollocks off, sweating the bollocks off for years. You know, 3 years they can be in. Hour on a treadmill. I won't bother with that stuff, but hour on a treadmill, hour in the weights, and they don't look any fucking different. Guarantee it's because the diet isn't on point. The diet, that's why I go on about it so much, because I know what it's done for me and what it can do for others. And not just, you know, it really gets you in shape, but a lot of things start to happen, right? You fit clothes better, you think better, you've got less brain fog. That's why I really promote that whole foods diet. I've done a lot of videos on it. And if you're at a real low point in life, or if you're not, one of the best areas you can start is health and fitness, training and diet, and 85% of it is diet. So that's really important. Obviously, number two, an example there: move daily, exercise daily. You know, it goes without saying, if you diet, this is why number one and number two are connected. Because if your diet's not right, and you don't train, and you don't build lean mass, you'll eventually get a terrible body composition. And as you age, this is why you need to retain strength, because you need to be stronger for longer. It's like a bank, the more you can build. Here's a good one as an example. What about if you've ever been ghosted by someone who's maybe acting a little bit avoidant with you? Has that ever happened? You know what the problem there is? I've got here number 5, setting boundaries. The chances are you've not set and exercised a boundary. There's a problem with a boundary there, because you're accepting that from someone. Same goes with friends. You know, if someone's not being great with you, it could be a boundary issue, or family. Yeah. Okay. What about if you choose the wrong friends? Number 7. It's quite hard, this, because, like I say, I've got the same friends since I was like 3 years old, and there's a big group of us. Mixed, excuse me, mixed success in life. But we're all still friends, and that's great. But if you spent your time with a group of friends that all they do is smoke weed all day, or go to the pub and get drunk all day, or go out every weekend, or maybe they're just not adventurous, they're not doing anything, they're just staying in your small local town and not prepared to do anything new, and you find yourself having to tag along with that stuff, do you think you're going to get some success? I think that's the time where you need to look at your friends. I'm not saying get rid of them, I wouldn't do that, especially if people are close to you, but to start to think about what you can do differently and who else you can meet to do different things with. You know, this is a good example because, like I say, I've got friends. Some of them are around the world, and I've known some of them since I was like a baby, you know. And we meet up. I'll meet them in an hour, and then later on a few more. Right, we're all having a bit of a get together today, and that's great. But me personally, in my everyday life, we're all doing different things. You know, I'm in software and stuff, and this is. Have we still got some? Yeah. So this is where you know, I might. So I've met a lot of new people traveling, whereas my old friends, my friends from childhood, don't do that. They don't really travel around a lot and go and meet new people. So it's always good to do that. And then I'm going to give you an example on not prioritising sleep, because when I was studying university, have you been to university? I used to procrastinate, and you know, you had like coursework, and let's say you had a deadline in 3 months. I just used to procrastinate and leave it right up, and then it got to the final week, and then the weekend before it had to be in, I'd cram it into that weekend, and I worked through the night, not sleeping for like 2 days. I was so unproductive. The quality of the work was shite. I still obviously got through. I think what got through just because it was subject I was interested in, you know. But instead, like when I do a project now professionally, I'd rather, this is why I promote doing 3 small things a day. I'd rather bite at it over those 3 months, you know, do an hour, and the quality of it is far better at the end of the 3 months. And it's the same with like, if you're going on a cut, like if you're training, you're trying to shed some body fat, what's better? Trying to cram it into 2 weeks or spreading it over 3 or 4 months? Slow, shallow deficit. Well, we know which one's going to yield the best results. So yeah, those 8 things, 90% of your problems will go away. I'll just rattle them off quick, then I'll get to the comments. Eat clean. Number 1, eat clean. Number 2, exercise daily. Number 3, dress sharply. Number 4, learn finances, both macroeconomics, microeconomics, how to finances for business. Number 5, set boundaries in your life with people. Number 6, that setting boundaries, by the way, you need a real clear identity of who you are to do that. Number 6, read daily, every day. All the knowledge is contained in books. Number 7, choose your friends wisely because they'll influence you. Number 8, make sure you get good sleep, prioritise sleep. Because if you don't, that's when negative thoughts creep in. You're not at your best. Right, let's get some comments, see if I can read a few. Hey, oh, there's not much. I guess you're Tottington. No, I'm next to Tottington. I'm going to Tottington in about an hour. I'm literally just next to Tottington. I don't want to say where I am because it's on the internet, but yeah, you've hit the nail in the head. Roughly where I am located, yeah. Oh, you've got BWFC, so you must be Bolton fan, you must be... So my office for my tech business is on Middlebrook. You'll know where that is, right? Yeah. Hi, Mike. How are you doing? Yeah. Let me have a look. Any more? Here we go. Oh, why is my brickwork bowing? Right, I'll tell you, this horrible brickwork, right? You're asking why it's bowing. I've just scrolled up. So, Liam, my brickwork. I need to get this redone. You see this window? It used to be narrower because this used to be a bedroom and the kitchen used to be right over there, and I sort of changed the house all around. And then this here, the window only went up to about here, and it was deeper, and I needed it higher for the kitchen. So I cut this section out, and anyway, long story short, I had to rebuild this, but I'm not a bricklayer. But this is my worst bricklaying because I did that in the dark without a light. So I had to brick that up in the middle of the night without a fucking light. Don't ask me why, because I had to get this window in, and it looked horrendous when I woke up in the morning. So that's the reason why that brickwork is. I keep meaning to get it done, but it's out of the way, and it adds character to the scene. Yeah. No. Top end of Bury Road, no. Yeah, you might do, Liam. How do we know each other? I don't know. But yeah, my office, like I said, is on Middlebrook Retail Park. Yes. Tell me one habit. I've just told you 8. Do you want me to go through them again? 90% of your problems will go away if you do these 8 things. Eat clean, exercise daily, dress sharply, learn about finances, set boundaries, read daily. I'd also say journal as well. Read and write daily. Choose your friends wisely and prioritise your sleep. If you just do them, everything, most of your problems will go away. All right, any more comments? No, I don't know what that means, Mike. Right, thank you very much, everyone. Have a good day. And yeah, go and watch some of my other videos. Watch the live from yesterday. That was a good one. Yeah, because I talked about similar stuff. Right, I'm just going to finish with that quote. I've put it in the comments. People don't decide their futures. They decide their habits, and the habits decide the future. That's because we are the sum of our habits. Just remember that. Right, I'm going to shoot. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you all next time.